All right. Good afternoon, Kansas City. This is your host, Louis George Walker, coming to you with another edition of the BFTAA and More show. Glad that you're here. It's a nice day out there, sunshiny. Last time I looked, I don't have any windows around me right now, but it's a pretty nice day out, or it was when I came in. That's been a couple of 2 or 3 hours ago. But welcome to the BFTAA and More show. I'm your host, Louis George Walker, and I wanted to let you know that you are listening to KUAW, Knowledge, Understanding, and Wisdom Radio. We're a partnership with the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center right here in Kansas City, Missouri, located at 4510 East Linwood Boulevard. And we come to you every Monday from 5 to 5:45 to let you know what's going on with technology, things that are happening in the community, and just giving you a good general rundown of what's going on. So thank you for listening. I got to bring in my radio people. Yeah, there we go. I've got a couple of lines now so that I can bring in some of the other sites that we have. I've been down here working on the connection to make sure that we can get things up and out right. So I see I'm going out on Twitter and I'm going out on YouTube okay. Now I'm going to check to make sure that I'm going out on Facebook. As I've added some cards, did some little wiring around and seeing if this stuff is going to make a little difference. But we're glad we're in the new studio location. I just put a new card in my computer so that it uses less of my CPU bandwidth. I want to thank one of my coach volunteers here, Miguel, was talking about getting a capture card, and I found I did have a card at home that I wasn't using. Okay, yeah. Looks like I'm in there. I see Mildred is listening and checking it out, and I see myself and I can hear myself coming out on my phone. So, hey, this is us. We are here and we are glad that you are joining us. Yeah, technology is a fun thing, but I tell you, sometimes it can be frustrating. We moved the radio studio from up on the 3rd floor to the ground level of the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, and I wanted to make the wiring a little better, and I tell you, I've been working on it for about 3 weeks trying to get it right, but man, I feel like it's getting a lot better now. The only thing I've got left to hook up is our telephone so that our phone system comes in online with us. You can still call me, though. I can answer it, and we'll do it the old-fashioned way. I just hold the phone up close to the microphone so everybody else can hear you. So if you want to call, give me a call at 816-599-6893. That's 816-599-6893, and we can talk to you on the air. Also, you can listen to us right now on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitch, and on Twitter. Just put in KUAW Radio, KUAW-radio on Facebook, KUAW Space Radio on YouTube, KUAW_radio on Twitter. And then on Twitch, just go KUAW Radio. You also can listen to the audio side of this if you are driving in your car right now or getting ready to leave work, getting in your car. Just get that Bluetooth connection on and bring up your radio and go to the TuneIn app. If you have the TuneIn app on your phone, put in KUAW and we'll be right there coming through your radio all the way home. So you can listen to us from here till if you're driving to Topeka, we're on the air. So be sure and do that. We're also on your Google and Amazon. If you want to pick us up at home on the audio side, just tell Alexa or tell your Google speaker to play KUAW Radio, and we'll be there. We'll be coming in. So we've got a lot of ways you can reach us. We're on the Get Me Radio. So if you also have a Roku television connection at home, search KUAW Radio in the radio side of Roku, and we're there. We're also on the Amazon Fire TV. We're on Apple TV. So we're on a lot of sites, online radio bot, MyTuner, KUAWradio.org or KUAW.org. You can pick us up there on Radio Garden. Just go on the internet, search KUAW. There's a lot of ways you can reach us, and we're trying to find even more because we want you to be able to hear what's going on in Kansas City and what's going on around the world. And we want our listeners that are over in Europe and those in Africa and other places to be able to pick up what's going on in Kansas City right now. So we have, I think the last look, there was probably about 13 countries that were picking us up with a few listeners, some of them one or two, but we can be picked up on the internet worldwide. So we're just glad that you're with us today on KUAW Radio. I tell you, I feel pretty good too, because as I say, I got some of this working. I think it's going out okay, and if you guys can hear me, that's a great thing, because we've been having a few technical problems over the last 2 or 3 weeks down here, bringing our shows in on Zoom and those that come into the studio. So we're trying to get that all right so people can get more bang for their buck, and that's what we're doing. If you'd like to help out KUAW Radio, be sure and make a donation. You can go to our website, which is www.kuaw.org, or you can go on our Facebook page, KUAW-Radio, and you can make a donation right there from your credit card or debit card, however you want, or you can mail us a donation. If you have a check and you don't trust the internet and stuff, mail it to KUAW Radio, care of the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, or just BFTAA, at Post Office Box 300166, Kansas City, Missouri 64130. So you can make that check out to KUAW and then mail it in an envelope, but address the envelope to BFTAA. That's the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, which is the parent group of this radio station. So mail it there to Post Office Box 300166, Kansas City, Missouri, zip code 64128. We will get the donations. We appreciate all of you that have been supporting us. We do get donations. Some people on the job support the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, which is the parent organization of this group. So you can make donations either way that you want, through Black Family Technology Awareness, and in the memo you can just put for KUAW Radio, or just send it. We'll be glad to get it. So we're going to talk a little bit later about some fundraising activities that we've got coming up, and we want you to be a part of it. Also, that we're looking for a couple of volunteers to help us with a fundraising event that we have coming up. So stay tuned, keep listening, and we'll get into that. Now, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association is about closing that digital divide, eliminating the digital divide that exists in the African American and other underserved communities throughout this country, throughout the world. And we do that by exposing families to technology. One of the things we push is our STEM technology, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, the STEM platform, rather, I should say. We try to get young people and families involved in STEM, and we want our kids to choose some STEM pathways in education to move forward. To that end, we have a robotics team right here at the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. It's through Vex Robotics. That's the platform we use. And we have a robotics team that we've just started back up. We've been off. We did a little bit of virtual robotics when the COVID first hit, but we basically haven't worked with our kids hands-on, where they could actually build the robots, where they really get the biggest influence out of it and appreciation for the work and the skills that they develop. But we started back, and we're meeting on Saturdays right now. We're not meeting on Thursday and Saturday, which we usually do, but we're going to grow back up. We've got to take this slowly, but we want to do it good. We've got a new robotics lab that we're working out of. It's got plenty of room. So if you'd like to get your young person involved in our robotics program, we would love to have them. The robotics program right now is for middle and high school students, so 6th through 12th grade we can take. Our Lego program has not started back up, and we're working to get that put back together so that we can start working with the kids from 9 years old up till middle school. So those are the two programs we have. But right now, 6th grade through 12th grade, if you have a child that is interested in robotics, would like to be on part of a robotics team, they can join our youth technology club. and be entitled to not just the robotics, but field trips that we go on. We're going to be going to the maker space. We have taken trips to Apple and to other places, but a lot of that's been held up right now because of COVID. But as soon as we can, we will be doing that again. We also have speakers and people bringing in technology for the kids to see and work with. So if you'd like to get involved with our Youth Technology Club and our VEX Robotics team, contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We'll be glad to tell you about it, get you involved. You can enroll online if you go to www.bftaa.org. So www.bftaa.org will get you to the Black Family Technology Awareness, and there's an enrollment in the center of the page. There's a thing to enroll your child in the robotics program. Fill that out. We'll get an email. We'll definitely contact you. We had a lady that came down here and filled it out on our computers here just Saturday as we brought in a new student to our robotics program. So we'd like for you to get involved. Yeah, you can bring your kids down here Saturday from 12:30 to 2:30. We have them for 2 hours, and that's at the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, 4510 East Linwood Boulevard. So you can enroll at home on your computer or on your phone, or you can enroll once you bring your child down here. But we won't be here this Saturday because of the Thanksgiving holiday weekend. So we'll be coming back the very next Saturday. Let's see what that date will be. Because we won't be here this Saturday, which is the 27th. So our next meeting for the kids is going to be December the 4th. So come down here December the 4th between 12:30 and 2:30 with your child, and you can enroll them in advance. If you need more information, holler at us at KUAW, at the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, or at KUAW. You can call the same number, 816-599-6893, and we can answer your questions. We'd love to get you involved in the robotics program. We need more young kids studying science, technology, engineering, mathematics, so that not only will it help them and their family in the future, but it will help the United States. It helps the world, because we need the inventors and the creators and the technologists that can help fight this global warming that we're going through and all of the other problems that we are suffering as far as energy and things like that. Well, we need kids that are creative and that are working on those type of problems. So it's not just for the kids, it's for all of us, that we get our kids, this next generation, involved and working in that. So I thank you. Well, that's part of my soapbox, and now I want to go into what we normally do here. Since we are about technology, one of the things we like to do is bring you some of the news from NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. We've got a couple of short podcast clips from NASA that are interesting. One is what's happening this week at NASA, and the other one's called Space to Ground, where you find out what's going on in space, bringing it back to ground. So we're going to go right now into this week at NASA. So hang on there. We'll be, see if I can get it started up here. Here we go with This Week at NASA.
The space station crew is safe following a debris event. Our recently returned Crew 2 astronauts discussed their mission and what our Crew 1 astronauts did in Washington. A few of the stories to tell you about This Week at NASA. On November 15th, Moscow Standard Time, the International Space Station Flight Control Team was notified about indications of a satellite breakup that had potential to create enough debris to pose a conjunction threat to the station. They directed the crew on board to close hatches to radio modules on the station and to shelter in spacecraft docked to the orbiting outpost for about 2 hours. The station is passing through or near the debris cloud every 90 minutes, but based on a risk assessment, the crew no longer needs to shelter and is safe at this time. NASA's SpaceX Crew 2 astronauts recently returned from the International Space Station. They took questions about their mission during a November 15th post-landing news conference, including a question about how responsive the crew was to a brief loss of attitude control the station experienced on October 15th.
We relied on our training, and it just kind of kicked in. The stuff that we thought we'd never ever use, we were using. and we worked really well together as a team to kind of get that situation back under control.
Crew 2 traveled more than 84 million miles during their 199 days in orbit and conducted hundreds of experiments while on board the space station. The astronauts of NASA's SpaceX Crew 1 mission were in the Washington, D.C. area during the week of November 15th to share experiences from their 167 days aboard the space station.
1, 2, 3.
They stopped by our Mary W. Jackson NASA headquarters building to present Administrator Bill Nelson and Deputy Administrator Pam Melroy with photo montages commemorating the mission.
Hi, thanks for coming. We really appreciate it.
Also at our headquarters, the crew shared imagery from their mission with NASA employees during a question and answer presentation. The astronauts also visited Capitol Hill to discuss the work being done aboard the space station with members of Congress and others visiting the Destination Station mobile exhibit and to highlight America's future deep space exploration plans. NASA has assigned astronaut Jessica Watkins to serve as a mission specialist on our upcoming SpaceX Crew 4 mission to the International Space Station. She joins fellow NASA astronauts Kjell Lindgren and Robert Hines, as well as European Space Agency astronaut Samantha Cristoforetti. The four are targeted for launch in April 2022. Our Double Asteroid Redirection Test, or DART mission, is targeted for launch no earlier than 1:20 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on November 24th from California's Vandenberg Space Force Base. The mission will help determine if intentionally crashing a spacecraft into an asteroid is an effective way to change the asteroid's course. Check out nasa.gov/DART for more about the mission and some online opportunities to share in the excitement of NASA's first planetary defense test mission. The Laser Communications Relay Demonstration, or LCRD, will be NASA's first end-to-end laser relay system. The technology demonstration will use invisible infrared lasers to transfer data between Earth and geosynchronous orbit at a rate of 1.2 gigabits per second. Laser communications offer data rates 10 to 100 times higher than traditional radio transmissions, which could enable future missions to transfer extraordinary amounts of data. LCRD is targeted for launch no earlier than December 4th from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida. That's what's up this week at NASA. For more on these and other stories, follow us on the web at nasa.gov/TWA.
All right. Yeah, that's what's going on this week at NASA. Some interesting things. I don't know if you caught that, but the debris in space. You know, we've been launching a lot of satellites, and not just the United States and Russia now, but France and China and Japan. A lot of people are sending satellites up in space, and they had one that, I don't know if it exploded or what happened, but there's a lot of pieces of it up there. And they thought that the space station might get hit by it. So they had all the crew members shelter in place because they're moving at a few thousand miles an hour up there, and it doesn't take a large item to cause big damage. If there's something as small as a screw or a nut, moving at that speed would be like a high-velocity bullet hitting the space station and could cause severe damage, especially pressurization and all of that. So even though it may be little pieces and it could be even larger pieces, they're very dangerous up in space when you're traveling at a high rate of speed. A small item as small as a BB or as a bullet or something will hit and have an explosive effect because of the huge speeds that you may hit it with. And that's not to say the speed that it may be coming at. So that's something that they're going to have to try and do some more about, because they try to track all the different space debris. Believe it or not, they have radars and the computers and stuff that all the broke up satellites and the ones that are not working anymore, they try to keep track of where they all are all the time, so that as space stations or other launches go up, they don't get hit by something that man has already left up there. At some point, they're going to have to try and start cleaning up space, because around the Earth is not infinite. There's only so much stuff that can be put in the atmosphere or in the orbit of Earth before you may start hitting things. It's like they're launching all these satellites for communications now, but it's a big space up there, but you can get it full at some point. So that's something else that they're going to be looking at. Also, the defense of the Earth. I heard that on the news earlier today or over the weekend, that they're launching a rocket to see if they can deflect a asteroid. If a large asteroid was getting ready to hit the Earth, like we've seen in the movies and stuff, that it'll come down and cause all the disruption, or even could be an extinctive or an extinction event where it wipes out all life on Earth. So they've got a rocket, and they're going to try and hit an asteroid and see if by running it into it, not with explosions or a nuclear bomb or anything, but just hitting it, if they can deflect it or change its trajectory. So they're trying to see if that's possible, to see, one, I think if they can guide a rocket to hit an asteroid in space, and if they hit it, will it actually change its trajectory to make it miss Earth? So it's really something that's going on up there now in space, so it's really good to see. Another thing that I picked up on what they were talking today is that they said that they were launching this rocket from Vandenberg, what used to be Vandenberg Air Force Base, but they said Space Force Base. So now President Trump had inaugurated, but we have a Space Force, so we have another branch of the military. And out in Vandenberg, California, that what used to be Vandenberg Air Force Base is now called Vandenberg Space Force. So that was kind of interesting to see that the Space Force is starting to come into fruition and build up. So you have the Coast Guard, the Army, the Air Force, the Navy, now the Space Force. So we've got 5 branches of the military to protect us, but it's also that we've got to pay for it. Yeah, but that's just a thing, as we go along. That was interesting, though. I kind of like that. And that's what we try to show you, is things that are happening that are interesting. And on that same vein, there's another podcast that comes out every week called Space to Ground. So we're going to go right into Space to Ground now. So you'll hear some of the same news, but you'll get a little different news. This is NASA's Space to Ground podcast. Check it out.
Station on Space to Ground.
Welcome to Space to Ground. I'm Leah Cheshire Mustachio. The space station has 7 inhabitants, hard at work once again. On November 11th, NASA astronauts Kayla Barron, Rasha Chari, and Thomas Marshburn, and European Space Agency astronaut Matthias Maurer arrived at the International Space Station aboard NASA's SpaceX Crew 3 mission. The astronauts launched on Wednesday, November 10th, just 2 days after their counterparts returned home on the Crew 2 mission, and leading to the fastest turnaround in history between a landing and a launch. The crew will live and work aboard the orbiting laboratory for approximately 6 months. To keep up with their mission, follow the International Space Station on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. As soon as the Crew 3 cohort arrived, it was time to get down to business. One of the major areas of scientific research on the space station is on the astronauts' own bodies. Some of the first experiments they perform help determine their acclimation to the microgravity environment, testing functions like dexterous manipulation, effects on the central nervous system and depth perception, changes in bone and muscle mass due to the release of phosphates stored within, and how an astronaut's ability to visually interpret motion, orientation, and distance may be affected by the spaceflight environment. These studies help us better understand how to prepare for and mitigate issues on long-duration spaceflights, and also provide insight on how to improve similar conditions for people on Earth. After its arrival to the space station in August, Northrop Grumman's Cygnus is scheduled to depart on Saturday, November 20th. Cygnus arrived with over 8,000 pounds of supplies, scientific investigations, hardware, and other cargo on the company's 16th commercial resupply mission to the station over 3 months ago. Northrop Grumman named this spacecraft after former NASA astronaut Ellison Onizuka, the first Asian American astronaut. Flight controllers will command the Canadarm2 to detach Cygnus and the waste packed inside and release it for a destructive re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. After release, Cygnus will deploy the Kentucky Re-entry Probe Experiment, which will test an affordable thermal protection system to protect spacecraft and their contents during re-entry. Live coverage of the spacecraft's departure will begin at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time. That's all for today on Space to Ground. We'll see you next week.
Okay, yeah, that was a short bit, but that was Space to Ground. So we like to bring that information to you, courtesy of NASA. And it's a thing to just keep you involved. And if you've got a young person that likes to work with science and experiment stuff, show them things like this. If you go to NASA's site, there's even more things that they can learn and do. And it really could help spark their imagination or keep them engaged in science, technology, engineering, and math, the things that we want our young people and we need our young people to be involved in. So, yeah, that's what we do. And every week you'll see a little bit different pieces of Space to Ground and what's up this week at NASA. So those are things that we do regularly here at the BFTAA and More show. And I hope you enjoy it. Let us know what you like about KUAW or what you don't like or what you would like to see or like to hear. Tell us how we're doing. We'd appreciate it. I ran into a gentleman this weekend that said, yeah, he's been looking at it, and he says, boy, the picture is looking good and great. And that's one thing. Now, right here where I am, I don't have the light set up to have it as good as it can be, but I noticed that we had Carl Boyd in there Saturday and Saturday before last, and the picture quality has really improved. We're really getting some good pictures of people, or the video has improved down here. We painted the walls. We have a green background automatically when you sit down now. So it's really looking a lot better. And I think that as you listen to more of our shows and as you watch more of what we're doing here, you'll really see that it's a good experience. So, yeah, don't judge it by me, but by the good-looking guests that we have here in the studio, be a great thing. But I want to thank everybody that's been hanging with us. Jessica McKellen was on Sunday. She does a show here twice a month on the first and third Sundays, and she let me know that it was her 5th year anniversary. So she's been doing shows on KUAW Radio for 5 years. I thought about it, I said, wow, has it been that long? But she's been on the air for 5 years, and we have a couple of other people that have had their shows on for 5 years or longer. I also talked to one of our deceased radio host's mom last week, and some of you that's been watching this show or KUAW for a long time may remember Juice Radio and TV. And Big Juice was on here when we first started. When we were low power FM and just trying to get on the internet. He came in and was doing some shows, and Juice was really great. And his connections helped bring in Crystal, and Crystal helped bring in Jessica McKellen, and that's how she's been here 5 years. So it's a network of people that help make this happen. It's not just one person. It's not just me. It's not just one show host. But it's about a lot of us working together and connecting together. You've got to network in life. You've got to make those connections with other people. So as we talk about that, wanted to let you know that Thanksgiving's coming up. I know you know that. That's not a bit. And then Black Friday comes up, yeah, which is a good thing. But how many of you are aware of Small Business Saturday? Yeah, Small Business Saturday happens after the Black Friday event and before the Cyber Monday event and before Giving Tuesday event. So they've got days all in this giving time of year. And the Saturday is for small businesses. And African Americans make up a large percentage of small business entrepreneurs. And this is a day that you could really support a lot of small business. I know the Black United Front usually hosts an event. I don't know if they're going to have it this year about Buy Black, and they had a Buy Black market that would be going on over at the school on Paseo, well, right off of Paseo at 33rd, 34th and Paseo, Tobert's Academy, right at Tobert's Academy in the gym there. They have it set up with a lot of vendors, and you can meet entrepreneurs of all ages and all types that are selling all kind of gifts, and not just gifts, but some useful products, some health products, and things like that. But be sure and check with the National Black United Front's site or Facebook page and find out if the Buy Black Market is going to be happening. We'll post it up here if it is. I did see that there's a Kwanzaa event happening this year, but I think it's going to be virtual again. I don't know that they're back at the Gym Theater yet, but I'm not sure. But they said it's going to be on Twitch. I was looking at that today, so that's one other event that you want to watch is Kwanzaa. COVID has made us have to do some changes in it, but it's still the spirit of Kwanzaa, which is what's the big point of it. And they did it last year online. I watched a couple of days with it. But Kwanzaa is a celebration that starts on the day after Christmas, December 26th, and goes through New Year's. And it's for building family and community and togetherness in the African American, not just, and really not African American, but in the Pan-African community, you know, with Africans all over the world to come together, to be family, to be, you know, united, working together, unity. All of that is a part of Kwanzaa. So you want to participate in that this year, or watch some of it, or just do a Kwanzaa celebration with your family at home would be great. But I was looking at a story out of Boston about the plight of African American business, and it says, you know, one of the things that we want to do, the co-founder of Four Corners Yoga and Wellness was hit hard by the pandemic. Revenues were down. This was like a lot of black business, and though they've slowly recovered, Rose says they're still down around 25% compared to before the pandemic. And Rose is not alone. Across the U.S. black business owners have been heavily impacted by COVID. A report released earlier this year by the House Small Business Committee found that 41% of black-owned businesses closed between February and April of 2020, the largest closure rate of any racial group. The Federal Paycheck and Protection Program pumped about $800 billion into businesses, but an analysis from the Center for Investigative Reporting published last month found that the rate of lending for majority white areas was higher than for majority black, Latino, or Asian areas. Imagine that. But loans are just one part of economic recovery, according to Michael Mazur, the Vice President of Business Development at a company called KUAW. And that's a customizable platform that cities can use to reward customers for shopping locally. Now, that's something that we have to think. Our city should be involved in helping to promote our businesses, too, because that helps the city. You know, they have an arm in that. The loans are more of a lifeline to businesses. They help businesses survive and stay afloat. But what the loans don't do, or the grants, is that they don't drive traffic to the businesses. So really what good is a business surviving or having enough capital, maybe just to pay rent, if people aren't shopping there, he said. To tackle this, the city of Boston turned to KUAW to try to help stimulate the recovery of their local economy and support black business owners. So they're incentivizing people to shop black. You know, in April, Boston Mayor Kim Janey announced the Be Local app, an initiative that was no cost, all reward for Boston business owners and consumers, and was created using KUAW's platform. By linking a card to the app, users earn rewards called Boston points for getting coffee, doing yoga, or buying plants at local stores. Be Local users earn a minimum of 20% back in rewards at participating businesses, while shopping at black-owned businesses earns an extra 10% back. Depending upon the business type, users can get up to 60% back on a single transaction. And accrued Boston points are redeemable as cash discount at stores, and businesses get all the discounts reimbursed by the city, which is leveraging federal CARES Act funding to cover the costs. So since its launch, Be Local has garnered 5,567 registered users, and over 2,700 participating businesses. So now that's the thing. You know, we've got some black apps. There was one called Black Privilege. I downloaded. I don't know if they're still working in town. And there's also the Buy Black initiative that the National Black United Front had, a Buy Black KC app. And those are still available online for your Apple and for your Android phones. You can go on the web to look some of those up, but there are Buy Black apps to help you connect with black businesses. But this is a thing that I think the city may have missed out on. We're getting near the end or right at the big shopping period, but the city can still get in. We should have something like that in Kansas City. Anybody know Mayor Lucas? Let's reach out to him. But they're giving in Boston points for businesses. You buy at the store, you get 20% back for buying, and if you shop at a black store, you get another 10%, 30% back for shopping at black businesses. That is phenomenal. That is something that we should have here in Kansas City. And it's being supported by the CARES Act, the money that they've already given. Rather than just giving grants to people, why not drive people to the stores? Because it's one thing if they get a grant to pay their rent or a loan to pay their rent and keep their employees, but what's helping them get customers in their shopping? This program is saying that as people buy from the store, they get money back. And so the business is making money. The people are saving and getting money back also. So that's a win-win. That's something that we need to look at. If we don't have it in Kansas City, I'd like for our city councilman Barnes or Melissa or Ellington or any of you to look into this. How can we incentivize shopping at black-owned businesses? And also, we need to use those apps that are already out there. There are apps out there to help you. We've got to be intentional about spending and the black dollar. You know, we may have to go out of our way. We may have to drive a little bit farther, but it's not just about the convenience of it. We have to be intentional about supporting black businesses. We have to say, I'm going to go the extra distance to support this restaurant that's in town, or to buy some clothing from this store or from this person. You know, my wife and I, we've been to First Fridays a few times this spring and summer, and we're going back, but that's intentionally going to spend money in the African-American community, not looking for a deal, not looking for a bargain, but being intentional about where we spend our dollars. Some of your dollars, 10% of your money, spend it with a black-owned business. If you at least do that, go out of your way, find a black business doing what you want to do, look for them, search them out, and spend some money there, that as we build the community, it strengthens the community. Because you can put all the new stores or all the things in an area, but if people don't have money, if people aren't spending money, if it's not staying in the community, it does us no good. So let's be intentional over this holiday season about shopping, spending some of our money, not saying all of it. I know you still want to go to Best Buy and Dillard's and all the other places, but let's spend a portion of our money with black businesses intentionally. Just say we're going to do it, not if I get a chance, but we're going to do it. And I think that would really help of us being a self-sustaining community. All right. So that soapbox is over. But now I want to talk about fundraising, because that's another thing coming up. Giving Tuesday is happening the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Once again, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, KUAW Radio, would love to be recipients of your gifts on Giving Tuesday. Think about the BFTAA, the Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and making a donation. Make a donation on Facebook. They have this matching thing, but usually the $8 million that they're going to give away is ate up in probably about the first 30 minutes that that Giving Tuesday starts. But, hey, we're always happy to get in on it. So if at 12:01 or right at the stroke of midnight, you can make a donation on Facebook to KUAW, they will match it if it's within the $8 million that they've got. But you probably got to be up and sitting there by your computer at midnight. But if you miss the matching, that's okay. We can still use a donation. So go to Instagram, go to Facebook, go to our website and make a donation on Giving Tuesday. Let the volunteers, let the people at KUAW at BFTAA, because we've got a lot of volunteers here, and let them know that, yeah, the community is behind us, because sometimes that's what strengthens people to keep serving, is to know they're not serving alone. You know, that the community is behind us, that we're doing something that people notice and appreciate. So think about the volunteers, think about the young people, the families that we can help, and help Black Family Technology Awareness Association be there for them. You know, help the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center raise money. We've got a huge building here that they're rehabbing and wanting to build back up to make it a community edifice that is meaningful for learning and for education, and it takes dollars to do that. So make a donation to the Black Family Technology Awareness Association and make a donation to the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center on Giving Tuesday. We would really appreciate it. We're going to be putting out more information on our Facebook page. I've already put up some posts that talk about Giving Tuesday, so I'm going to keep reminding you of it from now until Giving Tuesday. But I do appreciate, because we have a lot of people that don't wait till Giving Tuesday. A lot of people have put us down on those birthday fundraisers that they have online, and we've received checks from Facebook because people said give to the charity they picked, Black Family Technology Awareness Association, and we get that. I got a check for $133 the other day from an organization somebody gave. It doesn't say, it just has the name of this foundation, but for some reason somebody evidently gave, because that's an odd number of 133, but there was some funds raised and we were the recipients of that. So giving, even in small amounts, means so much to a small organization like ours, like so many around the city. And there are a lot of worthy causes. They're not the big causes. They're not getting the huge support from all over the world or from all the billionaires and stuff like that. But they're doing work right in the trenches with people. So think about giving some money to the community organizations, the small ones that are right here in us. Black Family Technology Awareness Association, the W.E.B. Du Bois Learning Center, Esteem Village. There's others that are working in the STEM world. We Code KC. Oh, heck, I can't think of Ina Montgomery's organization, but there are a lot of African-American organizations. They're not huge, and a few funds, a few $100, $1,000, $2,000 means a lot to them. Giving Hope and Help, Jessa McKellen's organization, they could use some funds. Think about making donations to small groups right in the community. They're working with people one-on-one, face-to-face. We work with youth. We work with students. We've got a couple of students that are first enrollees in our restarted robotics program. We have a computer scientist that donates his time to come down here. He says he's got some other people that want to come down, and they're donating their time to help young people learn about coding, learn about robotics, learn about engineering, and to get some life lessons at the same time. So we need your support in order to keep this going. So we hope that you would give to BFTAA. Also, Christmas in the Park is an event where they collect money out of Jackson County, Longview Lake. The Black Family Technology Awareness Association was selected to be one of those groups. We could use a couple more volunteers. If you would like to volunteer to help us at Christmas in the Park, I believe it's December the 15th is our day. contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association. We need to take out 6 to 10 people to go out there to help us to collect funds as people drive through and look at the Christmas lights. So we could use your help. We definitely would need you to come out, give us 4 hours one evening. Would really be appreciated. So contact the Black Family Technology Awareness Association on Facebook, on YouTube. Give me a call at 816-805-0406 if you would like to help out and volunteer for our Christmas in the Park event that's going on. It's one evening. We have a lot of fun. We drink hot chocolate. There's a lot of sharing and just fellowshipping together. It's a great time, and we could use your help. So if you could find it in your heart to give us a Wednesday evening, we would truly appreciate it. We thank you for that. All right, that's it. That's all my time for today. The BFTAA and More show from 5 to 5:45 every Monday is right here. And stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll have a few more live shows coming to you. We also have broadcasts that'll be going on from now through for the 24 hours. I mean, we're on the air all the time. So tune in, stay tuned, listen to us, KUAW Radio. Like, share, and tell a friend about this fantastic programming that you're able to pick up at KUAW Radio, Kansas City's global community radio station. All right, so be sure and listen to us the rest of the evening, and we'll be back. I'll be back on here live hosting shows or engineering for those that are hosting shows tomorrow. So have a good evening, everyone. Enjoy KUAW Radio. Listen to some smooth jazz, some old school music, some blues, and some talk right here, KUAW Radio. We'll see you later. Have a good evening.